Wow. I don't know if you can hear me because it's very loud in here. But I gotta show you this first rounds through the CZ P-10M. Let me see where this thing is. We're 7 yards away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I don't know where the second one went. Now I'm not the best shot in the world, but you guys have seen I can shoot a little better than. So let me load up another mag and I'll be back with the CZ P-10M. This time with Fort Scott. 80 grain. Just going to be for the light show. Left top left corner. Well, that was more pleasant to shoot, but I'm not sure I hit the target more than a couple. 1, 2, 3, I think 4. I'm not sure actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure. But that was using the Fort Scott. Love this ammo. So there it is. First shots. P-10M. If you can, just put music over this or something, and that's just the video. But thanks for stopping by. Stay tuned for the video. Hello everybody, MD Polo here. Thank you for joining me. Today we take a look at the CZ P-10M. M is for micro. Now CZ on the P-10 line of pistols has a wide variety of pistols. You can go all the way from the full-sized P-10F for competition, for duty use, to the next level down, which would be the P-10C, which is more of a compact, 15+1 capacity. And then you go another level down for the subcompact, which would be the P-10S. I believe that was 12+1. And what they were missing was the micro to compete in that very, very competitive market. And what they came up with was this. We're going to take a quick look at it. This is the mag. It comes with 2 metal mags. They're very thin. And like I said, capacity is 7+1. So I may say that 7+1 in today's market, where you got SIG P365s, 365XL, the Hellcats, you got the 43X, the 48. I mean, there's a lot of choices that you have right now in the micro or the subcompact arena. So to come out now with something that competes directly with a Glock 43 with just one more round capacity than a Glock 43 seems to be that they are just pretty late to the game. But are they? That's one of the things I'd like to hear your comments, and you can chime in the comment section below. Do you think that with a 7+1 capacity, are they late to the game? Now taking a look, it comes in with a regular CZ case, and you can tell by the foam inserts that this is a standard case they use for other pistols as well. They just remove depending on the size of the pistol. But it comes with a standard cleaning kit. And for those of you that are new to CZs, there's a bit of a trick you have to do to open the case, in case you don't know that, is you got your normal latches. You just flip the latches up. But then you have to put pressure with your thumb and put pressure into the center part of the case as you pull up. And that allows you to open the case. And that was nice. The pistol has been safety checked, and also the other 2 pistols I'm going to show you in this video have been safety checked as well. I put the case away. As you can see right from the beginning, it just looks like a slimmed down or shrunk down version of a P-10C with a couple of exceptions. Starting at the top, you're going to have your regular stainless steel slide. You're going to have very deep serrations that are reminiscent to the P-10C. And looking at both of them, here you have a P-10C. Let the focus catch up a little bit. But you're going to see the serrations are very, very similar. Come on, focus. Very similar as well on the slides. There we go. P-10M, P-10C. It just looks like mini-me. You're going to see the trigger shoe is a little bit different. And so is the shape of the mag release. Another thing you're not going to find on the P-10M are external controls except for the mag release, as you can see there. And also the takedown lever right there is different because on the P-10M it has a pin. Texture is pretty much the same. You have a little bit less texture on the side panel, on the side of the grip on the P-10M. You see more texture in this. But it feels to me that the texture on the P-10M is more aggressive than on the P-10C. Taking a look from behind. Metal sights on both. The one on the left, the P-10M, they're actually fluorescent. So you hit them with light and they'll charge. P-10C, at least in this sample, they're just regular sights. So that just gives you an idea between both guns. And since we're comparing, before we go into more detail on the P-10M, let me show you what it looks like against a Glock 48. I don't have a 43 out here on the table with me, and a 43X would just be the same as the M at the 48, but it would end right here where you see the grip. So to give you an idea, that's the difference. And as far as the width, just a little bit. This one comes in just at 1 inch in width. The frame is a fiber reinforced polymer. And of course, just like the other P10s, it's a striker fired pistol. The barrel length comes in at 3.19 inches and it weighs 20.1 ounces. So it's very thin. Another thing you're going to see is the diameter of the grip is not constant from top to bottom. So you got the slide, then it tapers down, and then it widens again. Makes it comfortable to grip. You can get pretty high into the handgun here, but medium-sized hands, I can wrap around my pinky right at the bottom, but it's for all intents and purposes as a 2-finger grip. You do have a slot here for some sort of a attachment, light, whatever you want to put on, but it's got to be one of the smaller ones because even the tiny Olight, as I have here, is not going to fit. So you need something smaller than this. Let's let you take a look at it. If it hasn't jumped at you already, one thing you're not going to see are external controls. As part of the dehorning of it, they wanted to make it as sleek as possible for concealed carry, anti-snag, sort of like the concept that was pioneered, or one of the pioneers on it was the Sig Sauer with the SAS system. But there are no controls on the outside. To me, that had some upsides and it also had some downsides. The upsides were that when I tend to shoot with my thumbs forward grip, and depending on the gun, I tend to ride the slide catch that is usually around this area right here. Well, with this handgun, I didn't have any of those problems. But if you saw in the shooting video, and I'll go more into depth with that on the shooting video, is that I did have some issues with this gun firing it. Now I'm going to circle back to what I was talking about, the grip texture between the two guns, the P10C and the P10M, is the forward texture, the texture in the front of the grip here. Let me try to get some more light on it. That's a little bit better. This is tremendously aggressive. I mean, the P10C is aggressive enough, But the texture that they put in the front and in the back of this one, on the side, it's a lot more subdued. As you can see here, you can also almost see how it ends up in basically, I want to say just like pyramids. I mean, like it comes to a tip, like a sharp tips of a pyramid. And here, they're more like squared off at the top. This to me, and I know I can already hear the comments, grow a pair or, eat your Wheaties in the morning. But it's to the point that it is uncomfortable. To grip it the way you need to grip a pistol of this size and 9mm to be controllable, it's uncomfortable. So if I were to keep this gun, I can't see myself carrying it and spending the time that I need to spend on the range with it without putting some sort of Talon grips on this. It's just not going to be doable for me. As you can see, the mag release is reversible. So for you lefties, rejoice. And also you can see the difference between the trigger shoe on the the CZ P-10M on your left and the P-10C on your right. So they are different. And I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but let's start talking about the trigger. The trigger on this thing, it's got a snap cap in there. The trigger in there is like two ways we can think about this. I don't know if you can hear the grit there. Let's just say that is not the best trigger that I felt from CZ. You can there, wall, and then a break. Now, it's going to eject the... And now here's... If it had another round in it, it would just cycle. But since I don't have around it, you got to manually release this. There's no way to manually, with a control, release the slide. You got to actuate it by cycling the slide with your hand. So different battery of arms you have to get used to if you're going to be using this pistol. So we're going back to the trigger, and that's your wall, and then the break. It is the heaviest trigger I've felt from CZ. And on the gauge is measuring about 7.1 pounds. Your reset is coming in there, and you're instantly at the wall, and you got to really step on it to get it to break. Again. The focus catch up a little bit. And you go through it. Let's talk a little bit about this. Because as you saw in the shooting footage, I know that I'm not the best shot out there, but I think that I do okay. And the first couple mags that I shot through this, out of the 7, I think 6 were somewhere on the paper. 1 was out of the paper. And it took me, I shot a total of 50 rounds through it, which is nothing. But I had enough after that. Not only my hand, as you can see, just the little that I've been manipulating the pistol right now, it's not just that it left a mark. I mean, it's indented in there. But it took probably, I would say, 40 rounds for me to get a group that was acceptable. I don't feel I would have to put a lot more time and resources to get comfortable in carrying this. So I haven't even ventured yet into looking for a holster because I'm just not sure I'm going to go there. There's a lot of other choices that I have that give me more capacity, better triggers. One of the schools of thought, and this is not something I've confirmed at all, but that what CZ wanted to do is give you a trigger, because some people may want to pocket carry this, give you a trigger where you really need to mean to press it. You need to really pull on it and make sure that that's what you want to do before you fire a shot in self-defense. To me, they just went a little bit too far because I had a really difficult time pulling through that wall without disturbing the front sight. Just me. but I want to share, that's my experience with a sample size of 1. I wanted to share that with you. So I'll let you look at both sides. The takedown, it is going to be a bit different as well than the regular P-10C. And as you can see, you don't have your normal takedown like Glock style takedown levers like you have on the P-10C, where you pull the tabs and then, pull the slide back a little bit, pull the tabs, striker, the trigger goes, and then you can release the slide. With a P-10C, that's how you do it. With a P-10M, what you have to do is you pull it back a bit. Come on, focus. You pull it back a bit, and then with a tool, with a Glock tool, with any tip of anything, well, not anything, but with a tip, you press on this button, and then you got to remove the pin, and then your slide comes right off. And for reassembly, the same thing. You pull it back a little bit, pin goes in, and off you go to the races. So a couple of different things you got to do with this gun. And there you can see on the barrel hood, it's a little bit of wear already, which is surprising after 50 rounds. So there it is, P-10M. What are your thoughts on it? I don't want to go much longer on this video. Don't have much more to say about it. But I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to bring it to you, show it to you. CZ P-10M, 7+1, micro pistol. What are your thoughts on the P-10M? Would you carry something like this? Do you own it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I'm really curious about this with you, because I want to know if I'm just completely off my rocker here and missing the mark completely, or do you agree with my assessment? Now, please understand, this is nothing against CZ. I love them. You've seen other CZs on my channel. You saw the P-10F. You saw the P-10C. I was a little iffy on the P-10S, but that was me. That was not the gun. I look forward to your comments. Please remember that I upload videos every Friday morning and on Wednesday mornings as well, if my schedule allows. If you haven't checked me out on Instagram, I'm pretty active over there. And in Instagram, you can see what's coming down the pipeline for this channel way before it hits YouTube. This year, I would like to reach 15,000 subscribers. We're getting pretty close to the $10,000 mark, 10,000 subscriber mark. And YouTube tells me that about roughly a little bit over 80% of my viewers have not been subscribed to the channel. So if you feel that I've earned it, please hit that subscribe button and help me achieve the goal. Once again, thank you very much for stopping by. And until the next time, God bless.